We are live. What's going on? How you doing, Classy? What's up, man? Thanks for hopping on, man. What's up, Colstrom? How we doing? Got like a piece of hair hanging. What the hell, man? The hell's going on? How we doing, man? And I'm going to answer this real quick because I just saw a comment, someone asking when my predictions are going to be out for UFC Paris, like Monday, probably the week of. So next week, I guess that would be. So I'll make sure that I get those out with plenty of time. So I know some people like to get my picks and do whatever with them. So I'll put those out probably. Yeah. So just wanted to throw that out there. But other than that, let's talk, man. We got a lot going on. Good morning, man. Yeah. I'm trying to what's up, Rocco? How you doing, man? You're up early, man. Good stuff. I appreciate you hopping on. So, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the MMA world right now. So I know we got an off week, and then it's gonna get kind of wild after that because we got UFC Fight Night Paris. I'm in a good mood this AM. Yeah, man. Yeah, I am. It's Friday. It's good. Channel's growing. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So we're not too far off. I think we're like 70 some subscribers away from 3K. So good stuff. Trying to get there ASAP. That'll be fun. So, but yeah, we got a lot going on. We got Paris coming up, and then we got which kind of the UFC Paris card is really flying under the radar. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about it. And then we have what's after? Then we got the Poatan UFC 307, and then we got 308 later in the month. So a little over a month before 308, which I said is like the second coming of of UFC 300. Man, that card is absolutely loaded. Card's stacked. So but yeah, man, I'm excited. I was thinking of making a video at some point too, because a lot of people have their thoughts on this whole Ankalaev and Poatan thing. And people are putting words in my mouth in the comments. So I know people just hate but, all I'm saying is I think that the UFC is like prolonging the fight. I'm not saying Poatan is scared of him. Poatan's not scared of anybody. The guy's literally fought everyone. You know what I mean? He's fought in kickboxing and MMA. He'll go out there and fight anybody. So I just think it's the UFC that's kind of playing this game. I don't think it's so much like maybe they think Ankalaev's a bad matchup, but I think a lot of it is they just don't want Ankalaev to be a champion. Probably because he doesn't talk a lot of smack. He's not really a character that they've built or can sell is really what I think. You remember when people were talking about UFC Paris, but it's definitely going under the radar? Yeah, man, it's like faded off. It's faded off. And I don't know why. I think it's a solid card, but the main and co-main are great, are good fights. They're very, very good fights. I mean, we got, Benoit Saint Denis and Renato Moicano, and then Imavov and Brendan Allen, which that's a good fight too, because Brendan Allen's been on a tear. Imavov's been, looking pretty good. So I think that that's a big fight. And considering how stacked middleweight is right now, what a loss would be, you know what I mean? It'd be pretty devastating to take a loss right now for either one of those guys, but somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. What's up, Cayman? Similar to what they were doing in the strawweight division, they don't want Wei Li to lose. That's why they matched Verena with Tatiana. Shake my head. Yeah, it's the UFC's a business, and I get that they're a business, but there's certain things that we can call them out on. And I see certain things and I'm like, this is weird to me. And, and everyone's like focusing on like certain fighters and this and that. You could make the argument that it kind of happened to Corey Sandhagen a little bit, right? Corey Sandhagen, the only reason Sandhagen got a title opportunity, which it was an interim shot against Petr Yan, was it was supposed to be Aljo and Yan. And then Aljo had to pull out. So then they had to book a fight at the last minute, and Sandhagen was one of the few that could step up, and they made an interim title fight. But outside of that, Sandhagen, he might not have gotten a title shot. And why? Because Sandhagen's boring, dude. He's boring. Like his style is but his personality is flat out boring. They haven't built a character, and the UFC is looking for, they like build these characters. That's what they've done with Poatan. They've made him really marketable. They put him in the machine. Yes, he's winning fights, but they've pumped him into their machine, and that's he's got the machine behind him. We've come to a point where sprawl and brawl is outdated. They're getting pieced up by the wrestlers on the feet and on the ground. Yeah, it's definitely turned into that. Allen will win using his grappling. I think that if Brendan Allen can get to Imavov's back, it could be a problem because I think that Brendan Allen has some of the best back attacks in MMA right now. But I think he's going to have a hard time getting there, man. And if he doesn't get there, Imavov is fast. He's a sharpshooter, and I think that he's the better fighter, honestly. I think Imavov's better. What's up, Terzi? Is it time for Masvidal versus McGregor? I mean, yeah, two washed up dudes at this point. McGregor, dude, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw that training footage recently. It looks horrible. He's in there against people that don't look like they look like some amateurs that are like low-end amateurs. I don't know who they are, but he's like, I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of guys around him that are pushing him, That's just the reality, in my opinion. Imavov definitely smokes Allen, especially since Imavov faced tough competition than Allen, in your opinion. Yeah, I agree. I think that Imavov's went through let me pull that up, actually. I'm going to pull up this Paris card real quick. And we can look at let's see. Because Imavov, he fought Strickland on short notice, which was up a weight class as well. They just need to do McGregor versus Diaz 3. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone wouldn't mind seeing that. We'd all kind of like roll our eyes a little bit, but I feel like we would still be like, okay, two older dudes, let's just complete a trilogy. Dana would announce Alex versus Alberg and Magomed versus Jamal as a co-main for 312 in 2025. If you don't know, now you know. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, SKR? You saw O'Malley's vid about hitting the red light after Marab. Red light therapy. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's up, 138? How you doing, man? You think a lot of people are sleeping on Allen if Imavov, if he gets Imavov down, Imavov could be in some serious trouble. Yeah, that's what we were just saying, man. Like, I think Imavov is probably the better fighter, in my opinion. I think he's faster. I think he's a little more crisp. But Imavov isn't starching people. He's usually like hurting people like later in the fight. And like what we saw with Cannonier, we saw he was struggling to get Roman Dolidze out of there. And I know Roman's tough and Roman's a solid fighter, but Allen, he's got really, really, really good submissions. He's got pretty good grappling. And I think like what you're saying, I think if he takes Imavov's back, it could be a problem. And I think that Brendan Allen's striking came a long way. And I think that his striking is decent enough now to where he's not necessarily super outmatched on the feet, to where like an early on Brendan Allen would be like, okay, he's outmatched on the feet here, at least in my opinion. I think that it's a very interesting fight, no doubt about it. But I agree with you, man. I think that people are sleeping on Brendan Allen for sure. What's up, Mist? Will Jones accept Tom if Stipe misses the fight? I doubt he might end up Tom versus Khan. Yeah. What's up, Joshua? I don't know. I don't think that fight's not happening, man. Aspinall and Jones, we've been saying that. I know I have for a while, man. It's not ever happening. What's up, Euphoria? Try and do commentary for a local event. You have the voice for it. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to some of that kind of stuff. It just gets, gigs are hard to come by, man. So I'm like, I just wanted to create my own platform. You know what I mean? I can talk about what I want. I don't have to watch too much what I say. You know what I mean? And it's kind of nice being able to kind of run my own thing a little bit too. You don't see John taking, oh, that's fair. Yeah, I don't see John taking a short notice fight either. Threat of the takedown is literally a cheat code. It's magic, making elite strikers just freeze up. 100%, man. 100%. That's what I was saying. Remember when Usman slept Masvidal, when Habib hurt Connor? Just the thought of the takedown, man, it changes everything. People are confident in Imavov, but he's not confident in himself. Why did he turn down 5 rounds? That's a good point, man. That's a good point. That's a good point. Our take on Sean KO Marab went completely wrong. Yes, it did, man. And that's That's the thing, man. Look, I think it's fun. What fun is it for me to just sit on the fence with a prediction? Well, these guys are both good and we'll see what happens. Like, I don't think that's very entertaining and very fun. But if I actually think something's going to happen and I make a fun video about it, I give both guys their credit, break it down, but then say, this is why I think this is going to happen. That's a lot more fun. I don't have a problem with being wrong. It's the fight game, dude. Shit happens. You know what I mean? Guys win, guys lose, like upsets happen. That's what makes the sport so entertaining. If it was predictable, it wouldn't be entertaining. Imagine commentating at an MMA event and being like, yeah, you like and subscribe. I would too. Does John Jones just retire if Stipe pulls out? Surely they can't rebook it again. No, man. That's a good point, man. If Stipe pulls out or John gets hurt again or whatever, just fucking both retire. Just both retire, man. That would be crazy. I don't think they rebook it. Imavov does have good grappling, just has a bad tendency to get pushed up against the fence and held there. I agree with you. I think, what's up, Julian? I think he does have good grappling as well. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. You don't think Allen is all that, especially since Curtis was able to hold his own against Allen on the ground? You know, these are fair points. These are fair points. My recent video on UFC champs, toughest fights, did really well. Keep putting up the good content or putting out the good, oh my God, I can't talk. Good content. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was a fun video. I didn't know it was going to blow up like that. I just thought of the idea and I'm like, shit, I haven't seen anyone else really talking about it. So yeah, it's still doing pretty good too. So that's the key, man, on YouTube is like, you want that steady build. So you build like a loyal fan base, but some of those videos that can hit the algorithm like that, you know, introduce you to plenty of new people. So it's always nice when you get a video that breaks through like that, because you gain a bunch of subscribers, which is fun, and you reach a bunch of people. What's up, Frankie? Stipe needs to pull out at the last hour for the whole community. Yeah. And then insert Tom Aspinall, man. Have John Jones walk out first, and then have Aspinall walk out second. He thinks it's Stipe, but it's Aspinall. Brendan Allen got smoked by Strickland, and Sean is not known for finishing opponents, but he can melt you, though. Allen literally had to a fluke decision against Chris Curtis. Yeah, that was a close fight, man. That was a close fight. But yeah, that's funny, though. Yeah, Chris Curtis doesn't have a neck, so there's not a lot to yeah, that's true. That's beneficial. Like Yoel Romero, Romero had his traps were like this. Romero looks like this. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, I appreciate that, Frankie. Thanks, man. Thanks for welcome, man. Appreciate that. I appreciate you becoming a member, man. It means a lot. And again, if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link down below, I believe, on this live, like in the description. I put the link in every video. Cold Art Maker trolling, man. Yo, who's this? But yeah, so all the stuff eventually, as we build the members only thing, I'll start doing like members only live streams. But if you're a member, you know, it helps out the channel tremendously. All that money goes back into the channel, help us upgrade the equipment as we go here. I'm still using the same shit since I first started, man. You know, there hasn't been any upgrades. So been saving up the money, you know, to upgrade the stuff. Because the journey to me, like, what fun would it be if I just had like this decked out studio right now? Like, I want that to be part of the story. All goes back into the channel. So I got a new microphone. I just the problem is it requires an XLR cable. So I'm trying to figure out how. It's actually a really nice microphone that my uncle gave me. So I got to get a different cable to plug it into a computer. So that I'm in the process of a move. So I've been holding off on buying some stuff until I'm set up and there. So, but I appreciate that, man. It helps the channel out. And again, members only, access to other videos, early access to a lot of videos. And then eventually, I can't do the UFC such assholes with the, film breakdown stuff, but I think that there's some workarounds that I've found. But again, like, I can't probably make them public because of the copyright aspect, but I'll make them members only. So some of those like behind the scenes, like me drawing on the screen, I know a lot of you like those videos. It hurts my channel if I put it out public, I guess, if I get too many things that are like, even though it pushes it through, if there's a lot of copyrighted content, it doesn't help me in the algorithm. So I'll probably make those members only. So, but I appreciate it, man. And check out Frankie as well, man. He does does very good stuff as well. And he does good compilations, putting up a bunch of content. A lot of us in the community will send him some stuff, and he puts them all together and does some good stuff. So appreciate it, man. Imavov versus Whittaker. How would I see that one go? That's an interesting fight. I would love to see that matchup. I think that, man, that's a great question. If it's 3 rounds, I think Imavov can beat him. If it's 5, I got Whittaker. Do you know who Leon fought recently? I can't remember his name. Bilal Muhammad. You're doing this for hooker money exclusively? Imavov has good BJJ, but he can't take guys down and keeps getting held up against the fence. Still makes him a horrible matchup for Allen. That's the thing, man. Look, and the thing with Imavov that I think a lot of people miss as well is, like, he's fast on the feet, dude. Like, he's fast on the feet, and he kind of fights like Gane, like Seal Gane. He kind of has, like, he's got that, like, bouncing in and out style, and he's young too. How old? He's like old. He's old, or not old. He's young. He's not even that old. He's only 28. I didn't know he was only 28. I thought he was actually older than that. So let me answer this message here. That's wild, though. That is wild. Whittaker's so good, but you feel like there will be a handover at some point soon. Yeah, look, I know I've been at odds with a lot of people on this. I think it's going to be this fight with Hamzat. I really do. I think that Hamzat's going to beat him. And at first I was like, man, Whittaker, he's the guy. He's the, like, I don't think anybody's beaten Whittaker. He's well-rounded. But then I went back and watched some film, and I'm like, dude, in those first couple rounds, like, I definitely think that Hamzat can get it done. Willie, I don't know, but I think Hamzat's going to present some challenges for him. When am I going to get some merch? That's on the goal list. The goal list. I got like a little list of like goals of what I'm trying to accomplish here soon. So once I hit probably like, I'm thinking like 10K subs, I'm going to start, I'll look into some merch. But like right now, I'm just focused on building continuing to build the fan base, man. So, but I got some really cool ideas for some merch and stuff. So, but yeah, just continuing to build the fan base, putting it all together. And then, yeah, maybe even sooner than that. I don't know. I got to see, depending on the interest. You know what I mean? If there were people that were really interested, I could look into something like that. Am I mad like Dana at that O'Malley got exposed, bro? His fans were the worst. No, I'm not mad. Look, I said this before. I would rather make a prediction and be dead wrong than sit on the fence. It's boring. You know what I mean? If I see something, I'm like, look, I'll make a fun video about it. We'll give both fighters their credit, and then I'll give my prediction and explain why I think it's going to happen. And I'll always do that. I don't care if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. You know. And Merab put on a great performance. It was a great game plan. You know what I mean? Allen is chinny like Imavov can find his chin and crack him bad. Probably. I mean, Imavov's got power, man. Like he's a sharpshooter. He just he hasn't finished a lot of people recently, but we saw that when he lands, he could definitely hurt you. No doubt about it. Merab's the real deal, unlike Sterling. I think Sterling is the real deal. He's a former champion. He just keeps getting hurt. And I really wanted to see him versus Mobsar, man. Because if anyone's going to give Mobsar some issues, I thought that Aljo could be it. First round with Hamzat will be key 100%, man. I don't know if he'll sub Rob in round 1, but I think he's going to, within 2 rounds, he's going to have to get him out of there. Yeah, Cannonier was giving him a hard time on the fence, but also Jared's a strong dude, man. Like, people disrespect Jared's grappling, too. Like, I'm not saying Jared is like this crazy grappler, but like Jared's well-rounded and he's a strong dude. So, you know what I mean? You think Hamzat's going to win, but you're counting out Rob? Tough fight for both, or you're not probably counting out Rob? Yeah, I agree, man. I think it's a great fight either way. It's a great fight either way. Do I think Charles Johnson can get ranked? 100%, dude. What's up, Jason? Yeah, 100%, man. Charles Johnson's very good. I like that we have a fun fighter like him, a guy that's got some swag, that's got some personality in the flyweight division, because flyweight is just starving for anything right now. And flyweight's like low-key flying under the radar, kind of heating up a little bit. It is. Flyweight is. Especially if I'm not rooting on him to lose. I'm just saying, especially if someone can beat Pantoja. Because right now, that's the reason flyweight has also kind of been like, what the fuck is like Pantoja's beating everybody again and again. You know what I mean? So, you know, people hate on Pantoja. Like he's a dog, dude. He's a great fighter. So, but I'm just saying, if someone can knock him off the throne, I think flyweight will have a little bit more. The water's getting like stale and murky. There's no flow anymore. So like the water's just sitting and it's getting brown and disgusting because it's like, there's no flow. It's the same things over and over and over again. But if you can find like a way to, you know, create a path where the water can move and flow and take away the murkiness, I think the division becomes very interesting. So there's my little nature metaphor for you right there. You know, Jared Cannonier is very experienced. What's up, Craze? All that shit just to pull out that Aljo talk. Yeah, I know. Is it just me or is Brian Battle about to put on a masterclass at UFC Paris? I think he will too. Let me see. I'm going to pull up this card actually real quick. Against Kevin Jesse, right? Yep. Okay. Let me pull up the card here. Let me pull up the card. Let me see here. I'm going to take a break from the chat for just a second. Let me make sure I don't accidentally end the stream. Let me make sure that's up. All right, cool. So Chris Duncan and Oki. And we got Jermaine Durandamy back on the books. Victor Altamirano. I like watching him fight. He looks like a baby in there. Victor Altamirano. Eileen Perez, that's next week, man. You said it's fight week for her. It's not yet. That's next week, man. Ludovic Klein and Roosevelt Roberts. I mean, I would definitely have Ludovic as a heavy favorite for sure in that, but Roosevelt Klein, or not Roosevelt. I combined them. If they had a kid, it'd be Roosevelt Klein, man. No. I think that Roosevelt's going to give him a good fight, though. He'll be entertaining and he'll stand in front of him. You know what I mean? So I think that'll make it fun. He'll give Klein that'll be a good dance partner for him. Ion Kutalaba, he's always pretty entertaining. Faraz Ziam, I like watching him fight. I think he's a good fighter versus Matt Frivola. That's a great fight. I like that matchup. I can never say Morgan's last name, but him and Gabriel Miranda, not bad. Kevin Jesse, Brian Battle. This is a great fight, man. This is a great fight because Kevin Jesse, he trains at City Kickboxing, right? He's got some pretty good striking, but he's got some solid grappling. But I think Brian Battle's better, like overall. I would agree with you, 138. I agree, man. I agree. William Gomez and Joanderson Brito. I love whenever we get to watch Brito, man. Fun to watch. And then the co-main, Imavov Allen. Good matchup. I like this fight. I think it's close, to be honest with you. I think it's close. Main event, Saint Denis Moicano. At first, I was like, look, I think Moicano, like I'm pulling for him, but I think Saint Denis is going to beat him. If I'm being honest, I think Saint Denis is going to beat him. Because let's be real, man. How's Moicano going to beat him? Moicano doesn't finish anybody, right, in terms of the striking. So he would have to sub Benoit Saint Denis, but Saint Denis stronger than him. He's got really good grappling, and he's more powerful on the feet. And we've seen Moicano get hurt a lot on the feet. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad Joshua Van is back in the win column. Do you think Kai Kara knocks Pantoja out? Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. He could, though, for sure. You're low-key glad Bobsar and Sterling isn't happening. That fight would be boring. I don't think it would have been that boring, to be honest. I thought that would actually be kind of an interesting fight. Stylistically, I don't think it would be like, whoa, someone got KO'd, but it would be like an interesting puzzle for both dudes. Yeah, I agree, Jason. I think flyweight is on the rise, man. Is on the rise. Not long now, bro. Max is getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria. Yeah, I mean, I think Topuria can definitely hurt him. I think he can definitely hurt him. I can't wait for that fight, man. Dude, listen. Topuria and Holloway is my John Jones to Dana White. Like, people will be sitting there at dinner, my friends. I'll be playing video games with them. We're talking about college football, this and that. And I'm like, dude, but Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Like, that is literally my John Jones right now, is Topuria versus Holloway. That fight, I'm like, everyone's like talking about all this other shit. And I'm like sitting at the dinner table. They're like, talking about this, they're talking about that. And I'm like, dude, but did you know Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway, man? That fight right there. So that is, I cannot wait for that fight, dude. Cannot wait for that fight. I might have to do a companion for that event. I cannot wait, dude. I cannot wait for it. If I was ever going to do a companion, it would be for this card because there's so many fighters I like on that card. Durandamy is out. Cavalcanti stepped in. Good to know, man. The UFC site, that's why I always go to Tapology. But I sometimes try to trust the UFC site, so they always fuck it up, man. They don't update their site at all. Thanks for the note there. Let me see. Let's go to Tapology. That's why I started checking Tapology after I made a prediction video, and someone in the comments was like, dude, this shit's outdated. We had like a couple subs. Let's see here. Taylor Lapilus is on there. Yeah, there were some changes. Okay, let me bring this back up here. Yeah, we got, whoa, this is like a totally different thing here. Or not totally different, but let's see. Let me pull it back up here. Back up. Can you see it? Okay, cool. All right. So Durandamy. So we had a couple cancellations. Yeah, so there we go. Jacqueline Cavalcanti stepping in. She just fought, was it Nunes? A little short juggernaut. Isn't that who she just fought? And she won. She outpointed her, I think. I'm excited to see Taylor Lapilus back on the books. Okay, yeah, see, that's why that's, again, before I make my prediction videos, I always check Tapology first now, just in case, because look at that. That's a pretty good card, man. That's a pretty good card. That's a solid card. I think it's a good card. I really do. Would I rather see Andre Lima versus Durden or Joshua Van versus Durden? Either one, but probably Joshua Van, considering he just took a fight on short notice, went out there and beat Edgar Chairez. I would give it to Joshua Van. I would rather see him get it. I like Joshua Van, man. I like him. I'd give him. But again, I wouldn't complain either way. But if I could be like matchmaking, I would do Joshua Van. BSD had bad boxing defense, but that's not something Moicano can exploit. Exactly. That's why I picked Poirier to beat him, was because I was like, look, I think Poirier will be decent enough with the grappling. And Saint Denis just has and probably, who knows if he's fixed it. He's got a lot of holes in terms of the boxing. And I was like, Poirier is definitely going to take advantage of that. Chimaev versus Whittaker, 100%, man. I can't wait for that fight. Cannot wait for that fight. Let me go to X real quick. I'm trying to see if, let's see. I'm going to go to Big Marcel because I know he just posted something about it. Holloway versus Topuria, someone is getting turned into a wrestler. Maybe. I don't think Holloway is going to try to wrestle at all. So if anyone would be, it would be Topuria. Let me see. So 308, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the card here because Big Marcel just posted something about it recently. Can you see it? Okay, cool. I don't see Topuria's brother on here. I know that there were like rumors of that, but I don't see him on here. We got Aslan back on. I'm excited to see him fight again. We got Bruno Silva on here. Basharat versus Hugh. That's a good matchup. Nursultan Ruzaboev. Kennedy and Zechku versus Justin Tafa at heavyweight. So Zechku's going up to heavyweight. That'll be interesting. Abus Magomedov and Pereira. That should be a car crash. Nurmagomedov versus Santos was just added. That's a good fight. Rombetsky versus Orlabai, the man out of the time capsule from the Ice Age. Dude, that is a fun matchup, dude. That is a crazy fight. I like this matchup a lot, actually. This is like I shouldn't even say it's a sleeper fight, but that's like a don't miss matchup. Neal versus Dos Anjos, not Dos Santos, Dos Anjos. Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. And why the fuck we know why, but Shara Bullet being on the main card, like Dan Ige versus Murphy should be on there. But I'm not complaining. That's on the prelims. It's a free fight for the public. So, and then Ankalaev versus Rakic, Gon Volkov, Whittaker, Chimaev. Dude, that card's so stacked, man. The card is stacked. Just is. Card is absolutely stacked. Andre Lima versus Lazy Boy would be funny. Yo, I would. 308 has 3 title eliminators and most anticipated title fight of the year. Not bad, man. That's not a bad take at all. In terms of 3 title eliminators, I could see it as well. I could see it as well. And the main event, I would say, is definitely the fight that everyone's kind of looking forward to now. Uncommon opinion, but I think Yuri beats Jamal badly. I don't know. I think that fight's pretty even, to be honest with you. I think they both have a lot of holes defensively. Rumored UFC 311 Los Angeles, UFC 312 Sydney, UFC 313 Vegas, UFC 314 London via Jose Young on Submission Radio live stream yesterday. Interesting. I did not hear that. Interesting. Moicano has underrated striking. He outstruck Cub Swanson and Cater back in the day. Yeah, he has decent striking. He just doesn't have a ton of power, though. That's my only concern. Poatan versus Ankalaev is a big fight at light heavyweight, bro. Jan versus Poatan was close, although Poatan has gotten a lot better. Rountree won't get out of round 1 against Shama. So I think that Poatan beats him within probably, I think I said like 2 or 3 rounds. I think Poatan will KO Rountree. But not the intention of the UFC, but it's worked out this way, that Ankalaev versus Poatan is shaping up to be one of the biggest light heavyweight fights of all time. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the biggest because you have John Jones versus Cormier, you have Jones versus Gustafsson. So, like, it's not going to be the biggest of all time, but it's definitely going to be a big fight, one of the biggest light heavyweight fights in quite some time. Orlabai's the GOAT, man. He is the GOAT. He better walk out to the Ice Age song all the way. Do, 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 do. But that fight, in all seriousness, is very interesting, man. Orlabai versus Mateusz Rebecki, because Rebecki got exposed a little bit last fight. But when we see a prospect like that get exposed with a little bit of a gas tank that fades, what do we see? We normally see them go back to the drawing board. They're a little more patient. They work on some things and they come out, and that usually doesn't happen again. But I think that he's going to be very dangerous early on, but if Orlabai can weather the storm and find a way to get to the grappling, I think Orlabai can beat him. Yeah, Ige versus Murphy is a great fight, man. Stylistically, a great fight. Ikram versus Arman at 170. Who wins? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Arman might be able to. I don't know, because Ikram's quite a bit bigger. Probably Ikram, actually. Do I think Paul Craig is a test for Bo? I just don't see it. I think Paul's striking is horrible, and he's basically on the downhill. Bo needs a better opponent. Yeah, it doesn't do much for Bo Nickel other than get him some cage time, honestly. Yeah, if I'm surprised Ikram didn't even try to grapple. He just looked like a deer in headlights, man. He didn't even try to go to the grappling. Unk is more of a striker than a grappler and would smoke Khalil in a pure striking match. I don't know if he would smoke him, but I think that I would pick him to beat him. But again, like, Ankalaev is a striker, dude. I keep trying to tell people that. Yeah, he's beaten a lot of people in the division, no doubt about it. If Orlabai beats Rebecki, who do I think he should fight next? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head right now. Why do people pronounce Rebecki like Rebecki? Because I don't know. That's what we've heard the pronunciation is from the UFC. Ige will sleep Murphy. I think that if Ige's a dog in that fight, wouldn't be bad to take a look there. Call me crazy, but what if matchmaking was set up to hype for Alex versus Ankalaev? That's how the UFC is probably going to pitch it. I don't think that that's what they were doing, but they may pitch it that way. But yeah, it's built a big fight, no doubt about it. Bo might KO Paulie, probably. He might. I mean, Paul Craig on the feet is really bad, man. Really bad on the feet. Bo versus RoboCop was the fight to make. They're not getting, dude. That's what people were talking about. I'm like, they're not giving him that fight. That's too hard of a fight for Bo Nickel right now. They're not going to give him that fight. Too dangerous. If Rakic pulls out a 308, who do I want to see for Ankh? Volkan Oezdemir rematch. Volkan Oezdemir should have gotten the fight. Volkan Oezdemir and Ankalaev had a really. Do you guys remember that fight? That was a really good fight between those two, and it went to a decision. And Magomed won, but Volkan Oezdemir has been on a tear, dude. He's been KOing people. You saw what he did to Johnny Walker, which I get who hasn't KO'd Johnny Walker right now, but still, I think Volkan Oezdemir is being dismissed a little bit too. I think Volkan Oezdemir should get a big fight, whether it's against Jamal Hill or against Yuri. You think that Hamzat beats Whittaker, then eventually beats DDP for the to become the 185 champ? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Who do I got in the upcoming boxing match? I got Bivol. I got Bivol. Bivol. I forget how it's pronounced. Dimitri. I got him. Paul Craig is a solid test for Bo because it shows his striking at BJJ level. He already knows Bo's a great wrestler. 100%. 100%. Because, dude, doesn't Paul Craig have wins over Jamal Hill and Ankalaev? Which is crazy to think about. He has 2 wins over 2 top 5 guys in the division. That's fucking crazy. Who steps in to fight Mobstar? I would give the call to Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett, it's been a little while since we've seen him fight, and he's towards the end of his career. He's got good wrestling. He's got crazy power. I don't think the UFC – I think that Josh Emmett should get an opportunity like that. I agree. Volkan Oezdemir is very underappreciated, 100%. I think he's been on a tear, man. He's been on a tear. Jan versus Hill is the fight to make. I forgot about Jan Blachowicz as well. Well, I didn't forget about him, but he's up there as well. But Jan has already fought for the title so many times. That is a good fight, though. It's been a rough year for Johnny and Paul Craig. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. How likely does Poatan versus Ankalaev go to a decision? That's not going to a decision. I don't think. I would say 70% that it's a finish, 30% that it would go to a decision. Paul Craig is like Michael Johnson. Yeah, he is, man. That's a good comparison. Ankalaev versus Jamal Hill would be way better considering the beef those two have with each other. That would be a good fight as well. That's a good fight. I just don't. The reason I'm saying that is Hill healthy, number one, and then 2, would he take a short notice fight? That's the questions, and I don't think he would. That's why I didn't say Jamal Hill. Mobzar versus Jean Silva. Not bad, but I don't know if they're going to give Jean Silva that big of an opportunity just yet. Jan's been out for too long. Low-key thought he only lost to Alex because he gassed so hard with it being at altitude. I thought that I wasn't so sure that they weren't going to give a rematch to Jan Blachowicz, considering he's the only one that's been like super close to beating Poatan at light heavyweight right now. Yeah, Jan, he should have prepared for gotten there early. That's what Poatan did. Do I think anyone at middleweight could beat DDP right now? I think they can, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because DDP is well-rounded. It's not like he's only a striker, only a grappler. Like, he's got a well-rounded skill set, and he has power, which is crazy because normally, like, guys that are really well-rounded, they don't have, like, crazy power necessarily. Sometimes they do, but he, like, has everything. He's got cardio. He's got speed. He's unpredictable. He's got kicks, knees, elbows, submissions, wrestling, wild striking. Like, the dude has everything, man, you know? That's what I'm saying, Bulletproof. That's what I've been saying, man. Alex is, like, filled out to light heavyweight right now. He is a true light heavyweight. He's big. He's strong. He's lean at the same time. Like, he is just firing on all cylinders right now. You think Fluffy beats DDP? I could see it. I could see it. If Fluffy survives round 1 with Michelle, then it's over. Yeah, I think Michelle is going to be dangerous early on, but if he could drag it out and get him to the ground, I think it's going to be a problem for Michelle Pereira. It's kind of tough because you think DDP is going to lose till he pulls out the Uno reverse card and wins. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Jamal Hill needs to quit smoking weed, playing Warzone, and listening to music before he has any chance at the top. Well, I mean, he's been at the top, man. He's been at the top. So now for him, it's just about finding motivation. What motivates him, you know? What do I think about Merab 49-46 Umar? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing with Merab anymore surprises me, man. Nothing with Merab surprises me. So he's a hard fight for everybody. He's a hard fight. I just thought O'Malley was going to have the footwork and the timing and all those kinds of things to be able to create some issues, but I was wrong. They should have ran Rountree versus Hill back instead of giving Rountree a title shot. I agree. Imagine if O'Malley had fought your guy Topuria, would have been bad. I had kind of been saying that. I thought O'Malley has like good footwork and good speed, but Topuria, he hits really hard, man. He hits really hard, and he's got the grappling as well. Umar can hang with Merab in the grappling, and Umar is a better striker. I agree. I think that Umar is a better finisher for sure. Thoughts on presenting in front of a class? You're trying to learn how to not get nervous. Try not to look at the people, look at their foreheads. Because if you look at their eyes and see their faces and their reactions, sometimes they can throw you off. And just grow a pair, man. No, just go up there. Do your thing. Why are people fluking Khalil title win? I know it kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Your opinion that Umar dog walks Merab definitely changed after the O'Malley fight. I think Merab could hold his own against Umar. I think he can for sure as well. I think that Umar striking just might be the difference, though, but we'll see. You think that any current champs can be the GOAT of their weight classes by the end of their career? Yes. I think that Ilya can. I think that Islam Makhachev can. I think Pantoja, Alexandre Pantoja can. Aspinall at heavyweight. You think DDP's style is one with longevity? Someone will come along who hits hard enough to KO him, or will you take a lot of damage and a couple wins until his chin is gone and he gets KO'd? That's not a bad take. Out of the Nurmagomedov camp, who do I think Topuria could beat around his weight class? Islam. If Azamat finishes Krylov, feed him to Jan. Dude, if Azamat gets a win, he's getting a big fight next. I mean, Krylov is a pretty big fight, but he's getting a bigger fight. Yeah, don't let it get to you, man. Don't let it get to you. Just go up there and who cares what people think? Do your thing. Breathe a little bit too. If you go up there all tense, you're like, fuck, you know? Don't do that. DDP versus Hamzat would be crazy. He should be 2 wins away from being the GOAT of bantamweight. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, and we'll see who he beats. Every time I presented in front of your class, I look at my friends. They start making faces, and I start laughing. Yeah, Ilya Islam at 55 is a gigantic fight. That's a fight that I've been manifesting. I hope we see that at some point. Pantoja has a long road to being a GOAT at flyweight, especially since he's 34, soon 35. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think his resume is crazy, though, right now. Tom Aspinall is the Shaq of MMA, the most dominant force we've ever seen. That's not just an opinion either. The stats don't lie. I would agree. Krylov needs to get Azamat on the ground and fish for a sub 100%. Yeah, if he can take him down, he'll have a lot of success. If he's stuck on the feet with him, Azamat's going to be a problem. Prime Habib would have mauled Volk. I think so. O'Malley said he's fighting in June versus the winner of Merab Umar. Did he really say that? No way, man. You like that both fighters knocked out Volk. Islam too small to go up to 170, I think. Yeah, I mean, he's a decently sized guy, but yeah, I feel like he might be kind of small at 170. I don't know. Why did Alberg pull out? Any news about him? Well, he was supposed to fight at one that international fight weekend. He got an injury. I haven't heard anything since. If Ilya defends against Max and Volk and Islam defends against Arman, we can see Ilya versus Islam. I could potentially see that. It's a massive fight, man. A massive fight. Zabit versus Lopez, 3 rounds. Who takes it? I got Zabit. O'Malley is saying he rewatched the fight and trying to say he won. I know, man, that is not the way. Delusional cope is not the way. A bulked up Islam at 170 is a monster. Yeah, probably. Probably, man, when guys actually like dedicate themselves to actually like building their frame and then moving up, we see guys turn into an absolute problem. So if he does it the right way. Zellhuber and Ribovic stock definitely rose after their war at 306. I would agree. Volk should fight Lopez. I mean, I don't know if he's going to, though. That's a dangerous fight, man. Islam versus Usman at 170. I don't think we'd get that fight, but that'd be interesting, though. That'd be interesting. You think Yair smokes Lopez? I don't know. I don't know about that. Brito missed his opportunity to fight a ranked opponent. Now he's fighting William. I think he's going to win, though. I think Brito is going to probably win. So, but after that, yeah, he needs a ranked opponent. I would agree. Yeah, moving up is easier than moving down because you gain some strength. Yeah, you're going to be dealing with people that are probably more powerful, but you usually have a little bit of a speed advantage, and you're not compromising your chin and your cardio. I don't know what you mean, Max. What do you mean? Volk said he's willing to fight Lopez for the interim title. I don't think they're going to do an interim belt, though. What's up, Weary Traveler? Thank you for the $2. I look like your old roommate who I ghosted. Well, that's kind of fucked up then. So what are you going to ghost me now? You're going to give me a super chat and then ghost me? I appreciate the $2, though. Thank you. It's crazy how Brito and Lopez career unfolded. Brito beat Lopez on Dana White's Contender Series, but Lopez went on a tear and is now ranked 3rd. That's why I like the Contender Series, man. These dudes come in, face a little adversity sometimes, and then they end up going on a run in the UFC. Yeah, I know what a parlay is. I'm not into all the betting shit, though. Bilal is going to lose against Shavkat. That fight will be awesome. 1919 incoming. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who do I got in the Orlabai fight? I don't like to make blind predictions on my stream, or on my streams, but I'll tell you this: early on, Rombetsky, I think, is going to have some success. The question is if he doesn't get Orlabai out of there, I think he gasses. I think he gets tired. And if Orlabai can get the fight to the floor, I think Orlabai can have a lot of success. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great matchup. No, Contender Series fights or actually, I think they do for your record, I think, but they don't count towards your UFC. They do count towards your record, yeah, I think. Because remember when Dana brought Bo Nickel back, he's like, the guy only has so many fights or whatever. I'm pretty sure it does, doesn't it? And that's why they brought Bo Nickel back, was because they were trying to get him more fights and build up his record a little bit. If Max wins the belt back and then Volk beats him again, you might cry. Yeah, that'd be sad, man. They still haven't found someone for Rufy for the Salt Lake card. His picture is on there. I know, dude. They need to get Mauricio Rufy an opponent. I can't wait to see that guy fight again. I love watching him fight. He's such a good fighter. That's true. Orlabai was gassing against Brenner as well. That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. So it's a good point, man. That's a good point because again, both guys are coming off of a fight to where they were gassing. So it's like who's going to gas first and who could implement their game plan best, I think, is going to win that fight. Sean Brady versus Bilal rematch might happen in the future. I could see it. Because Brady, I mean, if he can keep winning, he can keep winning. Weary Traveler, thanks for the $2 again. Buckley versus Wonderboy prediction. So very interesting. Because I think that on the feet, you saw Kevin Holland fight Joaquin Buckley, and he had some issues with the range. I think that I think Buckley's going to be a problem for Wonderboy. I think Wonderboy's older. I think that Buckley is going to implement the takedowns, and I think that Wonderboy is a very clean striker, and he fights well with guys that like to fight very clean. And Buckley doesn't fight very clean. He uses that peekaboo style. He likes to come forward. He's kind of reckless at times. He's explosive, and we've seen that he can shoot for takedowns and hold people down. So I think Buckley might be able to beat him, to be honest with you. I really do. I never thought that I'd be seeing a Joaquin Buckley running on a tear at 170, but, you know, I think that Wonderboy does well against other technical fighters, but guys that are a little more wild, like you saw against, you know, Gilbert Burns, guys that have power, that have grappling, they give Wonderboy issues. But thanks for the $2. I appreciate it. All other fighting nerds already fought multiple times. We haven't seen Roofy since 301. I know, man. I want to see him on that 307 card. I think that he's the one with the I think he's the best one out of all of them, honestly. When am I coming to Milwaukee? I don't know, man. What's up, though? What's up, BG? Mobzar versus Jean Silva would be good. I think that would be fun as well. I just think that it would be interesting to give Josh Emmett the opportunity because Josh Emmett has decent wrestling and he's got crazy power. And I feel like he might be able to KO Mobzar. I don't think he would, but that'd be crazy if he did. Do we think Nursultan wins his next fight, or was he fraud checked? I mean, I think he's got a good shot at winning. I think he's still a good fighter. I don't know that he was fraud checked. I just think Buckley's good. But yeah, maybe a little bit of a fraud check, I guess. But I just think that people are overlooking Buckley. I never thought that we'd see Buckley as like a possible like challenger at 170, but the dude looks good, man. Brian Battle would sub Buckley. Maybe. Hanat is 22-1. Josh ain't cutting all that fat in a short amount of time. Is he looking beefy these days, Josh Emmett? Is he looking fluffy? Yeah, Buckley's got like tits, dude. He's got like overly developed pecs, dude. Honestly, I was surprised when you picked Buckley to give Bilal trouble. Like if Buckley is able to climb the rankings and pull it off, it would be crazy. Sometimes it just takes a dude that doesn't make sense to get. I still would pick Bilal, but I'm saying it sometimes takes a dude that doesn't have a big game plan, that's not super strategic, that's just powerful and like unpredictable, that could go in there and fuck shit up. And I just think that he would be kind of a hard fight, to be honest. You think that Nursultan needs to go back to 185 ASAP? I mean, we'll see. We'll know after this fight. Hanat is a tough welterweight. I agree. Buckley versus JDM, possibly if Buckley could beat Wonderboy. Buckley versus Emmett to determine who's Goblin King. Nursultan looks drained at 170. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's tall. He's a pretty big dude to be making that weight class. We need to use Buckley's tits on thumbnails so we get more clicks. 100%. Maybe I do that. Maybe I do a Wonderboy versus Buckley prediction and put like Buckley up there with like some shades on and then put like a bra on him or something. I don't know. That'd be funny. What's up, Strength? The visuals I used on my toughest opponent was really great with those black and yellow accent. Hope you implement that again with my face in the corner. Yeah, man, that's the goal. That's the new presentation outline for that kind of stuff. So, yes, I will be doing that. And those are the channel colors. Black, yellow, red, and white. Yeah, Ruzaboev is kind of like got the Max Holloway going on, where he's kind of tall for the weight class, but he has like short arms. Rogan, Emmett, and Matt Serra could be cousins. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of bald motherfuckers, you know? I appreciate it, BG. Thank you. It's still going. I was hoping that could be my first 20K video. I was hoping it could be my first 20K. A bunch of bald eagles. That's what I tweeted that, I think, last time. I was like, I thought it was funny. A bunch of bald eagles, man. When you got Anik, Rogan, and DC at the desk, a bunch of bald eagles. A bunch of bald heads. So that's interesting, though. It's interesting. A band of baldies, yes. Yes. Hanat versus Lee is how I imagine Aspinall versus Jones going. Drop them, then sub them. I could see it. Who would I match Michael Morales with? Let me pull up the rankings. Let's see. Let me pull up the rankings. Because he's now in the, what is he ranked? 12 probably, I think. 13. So let's see. Let me see here. All right, so we got right here. He's all the way back here at 12. They're probably not going to give him someone behind him in the rankings. Maybe they give him Gilbert Burns. Maybe they give him Burns. I would have said Jeff Neal, but Neal's got a fight coming. Unless Jeff Neal can beat RDA. If Jeff Neal is RDA, I can see them giving him Jeff Neal, someone that's going to strike with him for the most part, someone without a crazy grappling advantage, or they give him Gilbert Burns in a 3-rounder, something like that. Because now that he beat Neil Magny, he's in a weird position to where you can't really have him. You can't really have him fight backwards now. You know. You want to see Bogdan fight again? I find him entertaining. So do I, man. So do I. But it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting because it's always interesting when the UFC, they like build someone up and then they get that ranking and there's like no going back now, you know, because now the expectations are there. Now they have a ranking next to their name. People want to see them start fighting contenders. So, and MVP's right behind them. Like they're not giving them that fight. I don't think that they would give him MVP. So I don't know. I don't even know who they're going to give MVP. What did Dana mean when he said December's pay-per-view is going to be stacked? I don't know. I have no idea. But you know what I also realized is I thought that there were rumors that Covington was going to be on that November card, which I don't know that that's true. At that point, it has almost been a year since Colby Covington had fought. This dude can't be active anymore, man. This dude is no longer an active fighter. The rumor is MVP versus Prates. I like that fight. Carlos Prates. I like that fight. That's a good fight. Dangerous one for both guys, but I don't know, man. Prates might try to grapple in that. Do I think the UFC should measure their fighters so we don't get misrepresented height and reach? Yeah, that'd probably be good. I thought they did, but yeah, make it a little more accurate maybe. Kobe ducking Gary is crazy. I know it's nasty work, man. Nasty work. No question. No question. But I don't know. I don't know who Kobe's going to fight either. Who the hell is he going to fight? He's kind of running from everybody. He's fighting, once a year now. He's getting up there in age. He's kind of a has-been in the division, it feels. Prates is one of your favorite Fighting Nerds members. Dude is so cool. Yes, he is, man. I like him a lot. He's got the it factor, too. His following's starting to grow, which is good. Is Brian Battle versus Prates 50-50? Yeah, maybe. I think Brian Battle's really good. So is Prates, but I think that I would say. Colby ain't beating no one in the top 10 right now. I agree. I agree with you. Maybe they do Gilbert Burns versus Colby. I don't know. I know Burns just fought, but do you think the UFC should pay the fighters $50K per year salary, but they have to fight twice a year minimum? Well, some fighters are gonna deserve more than that, though. You know what I mean? How does the Shara Bullet fight go? I don't know. I'd like to think Shara Bullet can get it done, but I think if someone can exploit him in the grappling or the boxing, they're going to be able to beat him. But if you don't have outstanding boxing and you don't have outstanding grappling, I think he's going to beat just about everybody they put in front of him. You really hope we see Prates versus Chaos Williams? I love that fight, man. And I know Prates was calling for that. He wanted that fight, and I hope he gets it because it's a great fight. So, We'll see. We shall see. You're saying the base 50K minimum, not 12.5K. If they win their fights, they make extra bonuses and possible too. That'd be crazy. That'd be good, man. That'd be good. Do you think Roofy is ready for someone like Diego Ferreira? Yes, I do. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You're fighting this Saturday? Where at, man? Where are you fighting? Where are you fighting at? And is it kickboxing, or are you doing MMA, or what are you doing? New York. New York. I like how they say New York. Not New York, New York. It's an amateur MMA bout. Good shit, man. Good shit. Jake, step in to fight Roofy at LSC. I'd get my ass beat, dude. Roofy versus Joel Alvarez. That would be crazy, dude. That would be crazy. I don't want them to book that just yet, though. Build that one up a little bit. You have a thick New York accent, man? A lot of New Yorkers do, I feel. Can't wait for Alex versus Khalil. I mean, it's going to be a fun stylistic matchup, even though it's not the fight that probably should be happening. It's a fun fight, though. NDA all day. NDA Army, man. Roofy versus Ribovic. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Do you want to see Dricus versus Alex next? No, I don't. I want to see Dricus fight Sean Strickland or the winner of Whittaker Chimaev. And then I want to see Alex fight Ankalaev next, or someone else at light heavyweight. And then maybe if DDP can beat some of the guys, defend a couple more times, send him up to 205 to take on Poetan and have like a fight at 205. Yeah, coffee. My coffee. That's it. Coffee. Can Roofy stay off the ground with Chase Hooper? I don't know. Chase Hooper is a big guy for the weight class. You think Ribovic beats Roofy? Honestly, I don't. But the way to beat Roofy is to try to just tire him out. Don't let him fight at range. So Hooper's movement against Ribovic in round 3 was crazy. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Do I know what happened with Topuria's brother for 308? I don't know. I heard rumors that he was supposed to be on the card, but so maybe a year from now, Dricus versus Alex, but not right now. Yes. Yeah. I would like to see DDP versus Strickland before the end of the year. And the reason for that being is everyone's like, well, what about Chimaev and Whittaker? Guys, they're not going to fight at UFC 308 and take a title fight in less than 2 months. I don't think that happens unless someone wins that fight quickly and no one takes any damage. Like, I just don't think that happens. And the UFC likes to build up title fights, and they're already going to have 310 booked probably in the next month here. You know what I mean? They're not going to wait that long to do that. Everyone's like, oh my God, it should be Chimaev or Whittaker instead of Strickland. And if they're going to do 310, like, the UFC's not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're already going to have the event and venue booked. They have to start selling tickets. You know what I mean? So that's I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news and rain on your parade. I'm just saying. And I think DDP versus Strickland is a good matchup. It was good the first time. It was a great fight. I thought it was a really interesting fight. It was a great fight. People just don't like Strickland, the personality and stuff, and they think that he's boring or whatever, and that's why they don't want that fight. But you can't deny that it was a good fight and it was close. I don't mind seeing it again. You think trash card, especially for US, EU fans, I'm probably going to watch. Which card do you think is trash? Do we see Nick in 2025? I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know. I feel like every time you're supposed to fight, it just never ends up happening. I'm in awe from Zellhuber as well, man. How many title fights in December 309? I think it's just going to be one. The Jones versus Stipe fight. At 309, it's just that one. And then at 310, there would be another one. Because the co-main event of 309 is Oliveira and Chandler, I believe, right? Yeah, DDP versus Strickland to close the year. Hamzat and Jared, I don't know. I don't know. I think that Hamzat could have wrestled him and subbed him. I agree, Terzi. Yes, Sean versus DDP in December, Chimaev or Whittaker the winner in May or June, or maybe even a little earlier than that. Yeah, depending on what happens there. Yeah, like Sean has put himself in position to like get a title shot. Like I don't understand. He's like every DDP has beaten and finished just about everybody except for Sean Strickland. Strickland went toe to toe with him and arguably won the fight. I don't. The fight was so damn close. Like run it back, man. Run it back. It was a good competitive fight. I don't care who is fighting for the titles as long as it's someone that has done somewhat of something to earn the title shot. And then if it's going to be a competitive fight, I'm all for it, no matter who it is. DDP is probably sitting out for a while because it looks like they're actually trying to make UFC Africa. Could be. Could be. Yeah, Alexa's probably going to counter the straight left. I would agree. If Strickland loses to DDP again, what would I give him? The Izzy rematch, the Adesanya rematch. Or some sort of contender. Islam has a vicious tie clinch and his knees are brutal. Yes, he's good. He's just good all around, man. Who do I think Peyton Talbot should fight next? Someone that's ranked. I think he should get a ranked opponent, a back-end ranked guy. That's true about with Ramadan as well. Yes, it's true. True. Good point. Rufy is overrated. I think he's a very talented fighter. Maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I think that he had just stylistically, I think he's got the style that's going to be flashy and entertaining. And I think he's got the skills to back it up. Bilal and Islam will fight in January or December. That's true. That's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that Strickland versus DDP, because that happened in January, right, of 2024. That was like the first pay-per-view of the year. That's a fight that I could see them trying to close the year out with, knowing that it's probably going to be fought and competitive. Peyton versus Cheeto, that'd be interesting. I don't know if Cheeto will take that fight, considering he just fought against Figgy. I don't know. Peyton, Davy Grant, that's not bad. That's not bad. Do I think Azamat can beat a guy like Poatan? I mean, if anyone has a chance, but if you're just going to stand in front of Poatan and you don't bring anything like super special to the table, I think that it's hard to pick anybody to outstrike Poatan. Because Sydney is February and Islam will not go back to Australia. Isn't Strickland versus DDP going to be at Africa? There were rumors about it, but I don't know. You know, Ilya most likely wins a decision over Max, but if Max were to win, how would I see it going? Him picking him apart for 5 rounds, picking him apart, just stinging him like a Calvin Kattar-like type of thing. Not that crazy, but like just tagging him up, sliding in and out of range, being in the zone. Strickland versus Duplessis, 2 main event, Bilal Shavkat co-main. I don't know if they would do those fights as on the same card, though, and put 2 title fights there. Because they try to spread out the title fights these days, it seems. That'd be fun to see you in the UFC, man. Rooting for you. Yeah, I think Topuria could get it done as well. Maybe Peyton versus Cruz. They should punish Dominic Cruz because he is, I get he's a commentator, but the dude has been squatting on a ranking for fucking 2 years now, if not longer, right? It's been a while. Dude, I made a whole video talking about how Ilya already, like, it's been out for a couple weeks talking about how Ilya is going to KO Max. They'll probably do Africa in the summer next year, so you're hoping we get Hamzat versus Dricus. I could see it. I just don't think Strickland's going to wait until that long. And I don't think DDP's going to want to wait that long either. Craig, you're going to step in, man? That'll be fun. That'd be fun. You've been saying it since the Volk fight. UFC could get rid of 2 boring champions on the same card. That's ideal for them. Shara Bullet should fight Chris Curtis already. I'm surprised they didn't book that type of matchup. Yeah, Cruz just needs to, like, if you want to go commentate, then go commentate. Just stop squatting on a ranking. And if you're going to fight, then fight. But don't hold up the rankings and hold shit up just because you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to, you know what I mean? It's just annoying to me. Annoying. So. But a couple more, man, before I hop off here. This has been fun, man. I enjoy coming on here with everybody. Wasn't his last fight Cheeto and he got his nose blown off? Yeah, he got kicked. Yeah, he got, like, head kicked. Could Cruz beat O'Malley? No. No, O'Malley would KO Cruz. Yeah, Charo's still got a little ways to go, for sure. I would agree. And Chris Curtis versus Sean Strickland. Yeah, are they still not friends or whatever? Sugar versus Corey. That'd be a fun fight. Roman Kopylov. I don't know. He's a fun fighter, though. I like watching him fight. Francis versus Tom. Who wins? Tom. Tom's faster. He's got good movement. But yeah, Kopylov should get a good fight. Should get a fun fight for himself, though. He's a good fighter, man. When am I going to Wingstop? I don't know. I got to try that sometime. I haven't had wings from there before. I haven't been to Wingstop at all. Is that like, doesn't Rick Ross own that or something? Wingstop? Is that the one that he owns? I know he owns some sort of wing thing or whatever. I saw. Protest versus Hanat. Who wins? I don't know, man. I don't know. Wingstop is mid. What's up, Alexander? The only wing place by you is B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, they got the fights on at least, you know. RoboCop recently said Ikram turned him down. Yeah, I don't know if Ikram's ready to return, man, after that happened. Yeah, man, I always, when I would, like, cut weight and I'd have food on my mind, I'd be like, dude, after this fight, I'm pigging out. And your stomach would be so small from cutting the weight that I actually couldn't even pig out that much. I haven't had Wingstop. Your favorite fight was Leon versus Gunnar Nelson. That was your favorite fight? Why is that your favorite fight? Danny Barlow versus Hanat. I mean, I like Danny Barlow, but I think I don't know. I think probably Hanat. Ikram needs to do his steroid cycle. I think Ikram's a good fighter. He just looked like a deer in headlights against Whittaker. That was a huge step up in competition. Dude, I made a video and I was like, people are literally trying to kid themselves. They're like, Ikram stands a chance. I'm like, he's a deer in headlights. He's going to get KO'd. You're trolling? So is it good or not, man? You still can't believe Sean Woodson fought at heavyweight in boxing. I know that shit's wild, man. Shit's wild, and he's fighting at featherweight. What's up, Brennan? How you doing, man? Appreciate it. Danny Barlow literally throws left hands from God. Leon versus Cowboy. Yeah, that elbow. He's got some nasty elbows. Leon's got some nasty elbows. I know you were trolling about Ikram. I know you were trolling. Danny Barlow versus Leon. I don't think they're going to give Barlow that big of a step up yet. They're not going to give him that big of a step up yet. But we'll see, man. We'll see. There's a lot of contenders. Like I said, the UFC doesn't maybe have the star power it once did with someone like the huge stars. But I think that the roster is the deepest and most competitive that it's ever been right now, in my opinion. I didn't know Gunnar was still on the roster. I kind of forgot about him a little bit. Barlow needs to redeem himself like Van did last weekend. 100%, man. 100%. Jared versus RoboCop. Yeah, I mean, I think RoboCop would probably put the nail in it for Cannonier. Who do I got for Armin Islam? I got Islam. Who do I got for Joshua Van versus Cody Durden? I like Joshua Van. I'd be pulling for him. I'd be pulling for Joshua Van, man. Cap versus Bruno Silva. I mean, I like Cap, man. I think that he has one of the best styles in the division. He just needs to put his foot on the gas more. Yeah, I've been watching every week of Dana White's Contender Series. It's been fun, man. It's one of my favorite times of the year is when we got Contender Series. Why do I got Islam? I think he's the better fighter overall. Van is good boxing. Luke Thomas has been advocating for more active refereeing to push the action. Do you think the refs should get more involved to make sure the fight is advancing? I don't know. I don't know on that. This isn't. That's like what they do in Muay Thai. He's just taking that from like one championship Muay Thai. That's what they do. They'll give you a fucking yellow card if you're not interacting enough, and they warn you too many times. Who's the biggest welterweight in size? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know Joaquin Buckley's a big dude. He used to fight at 85. Yeah, Dana White Contender Series is different on a pay-per-view fight week. I agree. DDP versus Imavov, I could eventually see that happening. Yeah, man. Drizzy, I think we're right, man. I think that this is the best it's been, man. Thanks for the $2, Weary. I appreciate it, man. A fellow 1FC enjoyer, very based. Yeah, man. I love watching 1FC. I love watching 1FC. I love their Muay Thai, man. It's action-packed. It's fun to watch. But thanks for the supers, man. I appreciate it. And we got a new member, Frankie. He joined. I appreciate it, man. All of this stuff helps the channel. So, like I said, I appreciate it all, man. And if you haven't seen any of my recent videos, if you guys missed some of those, I put out one for the toughest matchups for each current champion in the UFC right now. That video has been doing really well. So check that one out. And then I put out a video talking about Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. So those are my two newest videos. I might have one coming out sometime this weekend, but I'm kind of saving up because next week we got UFC Paris. So I appreciate everybody, man. This is fun. We're getting closer and closer to 3K, so hopefully we can do it here in the next couple weeks. I think we're like 70-something away. So, but I appreciate everybody hopping on, man. Have a great day. Appreciate it. See you next time.